Welcome back. I'm Ryan Merlin, and in this video, I'm excited to show you something that's pretty hard to do for almost any system. And I'm going to show you the power of Alteryx plus AI to solve a real world customer problem. And here's the problem. The customer approached and said, hey, we have every month hundreds, if not thousands, of supplier invoices that we have to pay and send checks to. However, this is a really time consuming and error prone process. How can we do this better? Anybody who's built this process in Alteryx or really any system knows just how hard this can be to get all the different nuances of find and replace tools. What if there's misspellings? Or as you're going to see, what about different languages? In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the tools to do some pretty powerful Alteryx plus AI stuff. Your time is valuable. Let's get right into it. So let's get started. The first thing, let's take a look at a couple of examples of invoices here. And we're going to start to notice a few things is that, first of all, these are different, and it starts to get complex kind of quickly. If we sort of look at the layout of this, we're going to have things like invoices going to be in different location under different banners. We're going to even see things around the description of what's being billed is going to vary. Over here, we're going to have two separate sections for materials and labor. And then this one right here, we're going to have kind of a sideways, like a horizontal display of rate, hours, and amount. And here we're going to have quantity, price, total, and so different labels. We're also going to have some subcategories under here as well. So part of the trick is that we need a flexible approach that's going to be able to capture all of that and then be able to standardize it. And that's what we're going to look at right now in Designer. All right, so the first step is that we're going to use, this is the Alteryx workflow. This has the entire workflow. Let's take a quick look at what's going to go on here, and then we'll dive into the specific parts. So the first thing is that we're going to actually read in the PDF document, of course. So we're going to use the Alteryx Intelligence Suite tools to do that. In this case, we're going to see the freelance document right here. We're going to then actually join that with the prompt and configuration. So I've got my prompt up here. We can see here's the prompt I'm going to send to the LLM. And then we're going to use a model. In this case, I'm using a local model. So this is running on my local machine using Ollama as well as the Gemma 3 model. If you haven't seen it, I have another video that walks through how to set up that connection to Ollama that can get you started with that. So we're going to use that model, and then from there, we're basically going to combine them and build the API call. So we're going to actually get the main JSON call that's going to go to the LLM, the actual LLM call itself. So we're going to send that prompt with all of our PDF. And then, of course, we are going to catch the response and then parse that JSON into something that we can use downstream and get the output. So if I actually run this and take a look at the output, here it is. And this is part of the reason why the JSON is going to be very helpful for us, because this actually helps to um, catch the difference of layout and the different hierarchical nature of how things are being built. So, if we've got the two different sections for like materials and labor, for example, we would see those broken out in the JSON here. And that's opposed to like a table structure where we've got columns, and those can be kind of rigid, and we may not be able to put like a sub item under a column that easily, for example. And so there we go. That was an easy, almost lazy prompt, if you will. And through this process, we're able to process that invoice. And so here comes the really cool part: is that this invoice that took care of this invoice, but we can start. It's dynamic. We can start to state it other invoices, such as this other contractor invoice, and we can run this as well. There we go. Takes a second. And then we will be able to see the output from the contractor invoice. And again, this one, as we can see, it's going to be different in structure. We've kind of got the fields to capture the invoice as it is, in its current format, right? So we can see all the different items here in the type as well. So we can see type material. This breaks out the full view for us. So this is pretty cool, but just wait, there's one more thing. What about if we had a scanned PDF? And so in this case, we're going to even make this a little bit better um, because this is both a PNG, so this is an image. The other thing that if you look a little bit closer, this is actually in German. This is a German invoice. So this is done for a real client of ours. This is a dummy invoice, of course, but this project was done as for a real client where we had to ingest many different invoices in different languages. So the amazing part is that using the LLM, we can still do the same process. So I'm going to open this container up here. And so we're going to use the Alteryx Intelligence Suite tools in this case to do the OCR on that PNG image of the invoice. And we don't have to change the input other than that because we're going to send the text to it. The only other change we're going to make is to the prompt so that it knows how to account for the German language. So what we're going to say here is I'm going to add in translate German to English. And then the other piece that I'm going to add in here, really just for standardization, is I'm going to say use only the following schema for the output. And so this will help to translate all of those items and labels into a standard schema that we can use for all of our invoices. All right, so let's go ahead and run that. And there we go. So we can see that we have actually translated the keys to English, but we in fact keep the German values themselves and are able to standardize that into the schema that we had actually provided it. There you have it. I hope you learned something. Stay tuned as we continue to release new cool techniques and tools using AI and Alteryx. Thank you for your time.